Okay. We will try this again. Hello. It has been a while. You might hear that nice hum, that nice authentic recording these, the DAWs don't like doing this, and I don't like doing this, so I've got a new setup going. I'm not going to show you one. Wait, can you see it? Alright, I'll zoom in on that. This is how we're capturing sound. We're doing it physically. It's fucking disgusting. Doing these sucks. So anyway, it's been a while. Hair's long now. Lighting's bad. Sounds bad. Let's do this. So I've been doing a lot of vocals. I do session vocals now. I record a shit ton of vocals. I'm just going to run through processing so that I can send this video to people so that I can like show them. And also I'm going to cover tuning and the difference between Autotune and hard tuning and all sorts of stuff like that. I record with two microphones, a TLM 103 by Neumann and Shure SM7B. I also have a 421 that I have yet to make sound good on my voice, but it sounds good on everybody else's voice. Typically clean vocals 103, which is out of frame, but it's up there. Harsh vocals 7B, which is what I'm using now. I don't like moving them. Sometimes I'll do it the other way. I almost never do screams through the 103. It's a very bright, very detailed mic. It picks up distortion so easily. So like screaming into it, it's overpowering. This thing, it can take abuse. It likes screaming. It likes shouty vocals. It's fine. Sometimes I'll do clean vocals in this if I want them to sit back a little bit. But TLM 103, super present mic. I run it into a UAD Apollo, which you can just see the tip of, an Apollo Twin. This sound card has a built-in computer in it, and I can run effects with like so little latency that it doesn't make a difference. So the thing is, my 7B or my 103 probably sounds a little different than somebody just plugging in a 103 because I run it through a signal chain. Now it differs depending on the project, but I'm just going to pull these into the screen in the order that I use them. So this is a model of a 610 preamp. I like to run it a little hot. Now I've been running them too hot lately. I need to cool down on that. And if I'm using the 103, I'm going to start rolling down the low end as well because I'm finding it way too much. I like using this gain as much as I can get away with instead of the interface's default gain. Like the preamp gain. I prefer this one because it's more vintage and a little more crunchy. Then I've got it running through a Pultec because of course. Again, I might roll off some high end on the 103. I'll mid scoop the 7B. Nothing too crazy is going on here. And because I'm running my own sessions, I can't instantly hear how it sounds, right? I have to like do a bajillion identical takes to match EQ. So typically this is more for other people, like I record other people. And lastly, I use two compressors mainly, but this is the one that I use most often. Check. Yeah. The distressor. This thing's awesome. It's really good for modern vocals, and I like to blend it a little bit dry if I'm screaming, and like I will push this thing till we're getting like 14, 17, 20 decibels of gain reduction, and then run it parallel because man, screams sound good like that. The other one, oh crap, I don't have it pulled up. It's gonna do my signal chain. I'll just show a picture of it. Is the Teletronics, I think it's the LA2A that I use. So all of these plugins are modeled like point to point or whatever after the exact circuit. Like they're exact copies of the analog circuits. I've used a distressor in real life. They're pretty awesome. That's why I bought this one. It's not cheap. None of UID's stuff's cheap. Anyway, so when I'm sending vocals off for Fiverr or whatever, they're gonna have that signal chain on them even if they're dry. I'm not putting like reverb or anything on them, but I am running them through compression, either the distressor or the LA2A, depending on what I'm doing. Sometimes it'll be very little, sometimes just a few decibels of gain reduction off the top for like, you know, just peak reduction or whatever. Or sometimes I'm using the distressor and I'm slamming the shit out of it before it's even hitting the DAW. So, with that out of the way, what you are looking at is Salvation. This was a whole bunch of vocal takes because I was really in the zone. I'm pretty proud of the timing consistencies, and there's a little wiggliness going on, but overall, like, I mean, I'm pretty happy with it. So, because I want to illustrate differences in tuning, what I'm gonna do is just, I've got 3 layers in this song already. Main, second main that has a chorus on it, and then support, which is almost nothing. Cool, wow, this is a very naked song. I haven't worked on this in a while, it's already out. So what do I have on this? Like, an EQ, that is because of the TLM 103 combined with my room. It gets really harsh up there. A tape emulation, which I run on literally everything. Do I mean literally? Yeah, I pretty much do mean literally. What's the Pultec doing? It's dropping high end more than it's pulling it. Okay. And then lastly, the ferric, which is like a combination compressor limiter saturation thing, but you'll notice it's pretty much off. It's really subtle. And then individual tracks, whatever, I can turn all those off. All that matters is this is a slapback delay set to 64 and 89 stereo. If you don't know what that means, it doesn't matter. And then this is the actual delay. I'm surprised I have both. Anyway, we are getting sidetracked. So what I'm gonna do, I'm not even gonna listen to these, doesn't really matter. You just gotta pick, like, you know, early takes will be pitchier, later takes my voice will be cooked. So what do you do? I'm not even gonna listen to these, like, it doesn't matter. It does matter, but, you know. Okay. This is Melodyne. This is, I don't want to say a singer's best, I don't know, what am I trying to sound cute? This is Melodyne, it's pitching software. So you can see, how do I zoom in again? It shows a piano roll, right? And these are the notes. And you can see, for the most part, I did pretty good. If you double click, it'll do what's called hard tuning. It'll average the note and pin it right dead center on the piano roll. So like, say this note. Wow. Obviously I didn't fuck that up that bad. Like, this will be flat, this will be sharp, that's a little sharp. You can kind of see what it's going for, right? So if you hard tune something, you take the pitch shifter, center, shift it like that. So that amount of wiggliness is assuming that the program is guessing the right notes, which most of them are right, but not all of them. That's how far off I was. So the thing with this release compared to how I normally do it, with Design Abstract, what I would do, slam this all the way down, 3 takes, 5 takes, 17 takes, whatever, and everything's hard tuned. On this one I didn't do that. What I did is I just did spot corrections. Yeah, sorry, I should have warned you. And I also correct the shape a little bit, so if I'm like, if I'm drooping on the pitch, kind of correct that a bit. Look at that. Okay, for the time, I'm just gonna use 1 take. Destruction is our salvation. So. Salvation. Why did that note sound weird? Did I just sing the wrong note? No, I haven't heard the song in a while. Okay, this is obviously sharp as hell. That's actually supposed to be 1 note. So let's see how that sounds. Destruction is our salvation. Oh, that's why. Because that was. Destruction is our salvation. Good enough. I don't know if you can tell, but I can tell my voice was pretty cooked at the end of this take. The thing is, that's it. That's pitch correction. That's your auto-tune. Like, that amount of processing is like probably what a normal rock record has. Now the thing is, what Melodyne can also be, or what auto-tune people think it is, okay, we're gonna hard tune that much of it, it's not a big deal. Modulation, slammed. Destruction is our salvation. Like, yeah, you can do that. Probably doesn't sound good in the mix. Okay, I like that, but for for incorrect reasons. Shit. So that's the thing, is there's a spectrum to it. Whereas I'm gonna be using it to do like, okay, that note was sharp. I think that pulled sharp. That was up. And that was like that. That one was sketchy. That single tracked, I would go through and do that again, just because that's my music. But that's all it is. Like, that's all. Sorry, I keep thinking the camera is. That's all it is. People, you know, Autotune singers can't sing. All that stuff. I don't know. I'm too tired to like get into, you know, that. I know people are like that. Autotune is the death of singing and whatever. And like, yeah, it's a sound. But for me, I started out in a place where I really wasn't good with pitching, so I would be off by, you know, when I started, this note could have been like up here, and like over the years, I've seen it get better, which is awesome for me because this tool really helped to visualize what exactly I was doing wrong until you get it somewhere like this where like nothing is more than 20 cents out of tune, more or less, a couple notes here. But again, this isn't the best take, this is a random take. For all I know, this one's better. Yeah, kind of. That note's better. But that's the thing. That's like, people forget about it, but like, that's all it is. And like, I do more processing to basically every other instrument. Like, if you look at that, so, you know, that vocal chain, I'm running through saturation, some echoes, which don't need to be on. That's an EQ, kind of. That's an EQ. It's basically just an EQ. There's so much more processing applied to everything else. Not to mention, you know, electric guitars that don't sound like that before you stick them through the amp. Like, let me tell you what. I know, I'm getting a little anti-boomery here, but yeah. Okay, with something like this, that's basically all I would be doing, is I would just be bumping. I would see, like, okay, there was one good example of... So this, I'm kind of like, you know, whatever. I'm hitting the note above, and then I'm kind of dropping it. Just do that. It doesn't need to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect. But if I just really quickly... I like the note endings to not be shitty. Whoops. Oh, god damn it. Okay. Working too fast, trying to look cool. So that's consistently sharp. Now, if I was a good singer, which I'm not, I would track these in like batches of a few and then Melodyne it and then see what needs to change and then go. I remember this recording day and I was basically just like, I'm just going. I'm just going to get as many takes and then that's just how it's going to be. I don't know if it sounds bad. Let's see. Destruction is our salvation. It's not bad. That's all I do. That's it for this. Destruction is our salvation. Oh, I hit one note wrong. I can hear it in the mix. Oh, is that note supposed to be? Oh, weird. I didn't notice that. Right? Was I pulling that sharp on that? God damn it. Destruction is our... Oh yeah, look at that. Cool. And not to mention, you saw how many freaking takes I had, right? Here. So what I would do, I didn't because I wanted to save time, is listen through all of these and then just select. Now, I've got a buddy, Vadim. I keep looking, next time I'm putting the webcam here. Vadim, who, like, man, so he's a pop singer, right? And so he will, like, go through and just be, if he liked this sibilance better than this one, he'll be, like, cutting through, and it's just like, now the attack on this one was a little better, but then this sustain note was better. And, like, you know, and he'd do, like, and it's nuts. And then, like, the resulting comp way up here is... I can't do that because one, I don't have the patience, two, I don't have the vocal consistency, and three, I can't get it to sound like it's not cut up even to my own ear, whether other people notice or not. So typically I'm cutting these up as little as possible. I think the original for this, before I started the video, was like that much comping. But just pick all the most in tune ones that don't make my ears bleed and then Melodyne them that much, and like That's the thing. Now, just because I'm doing this, and I think it'll be funny in the future, what we're doing, hard pitch correction, hard this, like modulation, so you can see what happens to the pitch, right? That's your T-Pain shit. Not all pitch correction does that, right? Just like not everyone using a DAW is making their guitars sound like Rings of Saturn, right? It's a choice. There. So what I'm doing is I mean, it should be obvious, but I'm, just for this part of the song, I'm hard tuning and then hard whatever the hell this is, T-Paining this just because I want to laugh. Bringer of hell, destruction is our salvation. We give them lives as an offering. It's a vibe, okay? And like, I wouldn't go this hard, obviously, but there are situations where I would take one take and reduce it to like even less than that. Oh, there was like inverting it. I didn't even know I could do that. To like that, but then leave the other ones really natural, just so that pitch center is there, but then you have others that are a little wiggly. On the other hand, so I keep saying, this is how I used to do it instead of design abstract. Okay. This is a design abstract song. You can tell because there's all this nonsense everywhere. These are not takes. These are vocal layers. These will have all been hard tuned. So if I go just randomly to this one, we Melodyne it, you can see how if I do this, nothing moves. It's already bang on the pitch. And why is that? It's because I can't fucking sing. And it's also because I have this many layers. Invoking the rage. That's loud. Okay, I'm gonna turn that down a lot. Invoking the rage of a unseen digital deities. When you have like 3 and 4 part harmonies, like they have to be in tune. I'm sorry I can't sing. I'm sorry I used Autotune like T-Pain and I'm a fake singer and I use a computer just sings for me. That's kind of how it has to be. I've got like 3 unison pedals. Too many. It's too many unison pedals, actually. I'm gonna turn those off. Invoking the rage of a unseen. But like, we've got like shit like this going on. Invoking the rage of a unseen digital deities, the ones who seek it. And like, we make that sound like invoking. Oh god, sorry. Oh god, I'm sorry. This recording setup sucks, man. Oh, I remember. I need to turn it down here. Okay. Like when you've got music that bonkers, you kind of need those layers and they need to be in tune because like I'm singing against this and probably these. And guess what? These are in tune. Don't worry, I'm just jerking myself off with my own string writing. So that's the thing. But even still, you can see that these aren't like that thing that I'm... Fuck off. Dear PreSonus Studio 1.5, stop making the autosave interrupt workflow. No other DAW is like that. It's so fucking annoying. Please. Please. Okay. But even still, they are not like that, right? Invoking the rage of our unseen digital deities. And I'm not shitting on that. I think it's a sound. In fact, it objectively is a sound. But they're different things, right? When people think autotune, like you see this on the screen, it's like, wow, yeah, it's pitch corrected, for sure. I'm not saying that I don't use it. Hell, I do. But it doesn't sound like that. It doesn't sing for you. Now, I wish I had the original takes for these. I don't. These are processed already, right? That's why when I did Melodyne and then did this, nothing happened because these are already pitched. I don't have the raw takes of this because I don't keep stuff like that. And just do it again. Chances are they would have been a little sketchier than Salvation, but they would never be more than like that far off. Sometimes they'll correct to the wrong note, but they'll never correct like a whole step away from the wrong note, right? And that's because I'm not perfect. And also, these are 4 or 5 part harmonies. I don't know if other people just learn all the harmonies when they do that. I don't. Like, I just sight read it and then sing it. And like the intonation's a little wonky, but that's why they invented computers. I'm not an amazing singer. And also, I have to do all the screams. Should I cover screams? I'm gonna cover screams. It's gonna be semi-ironic because there's like nothing to say. So, processing wise, hot preamp, like probably that hot, into an EQ that's just doing nothing, and then distressor, sure, somewhere around those settings. Sometimes I'll take the attack way down. I'll put it to opto, like optical sometimes. Not always, but sometimes. Just make sure it runs hot so there's a ton of gain reduction, right? And then, like...
The victims of the retribution clog the streets, retching with the plug of their punishment.
So,
Unfaith.
this reverb doesn't need to be there. You can stop. This is just me being an asshole. I don't, like, process my screams. So, there's saturation.
The victims of the retribution clog the streets, retching with the plug of their punishment.
There's
Unfaithful and blasphemous.
Even that's rare. I'll turn this off. Fuck it, I'll turn everything off. This is what they sound like dry with only that processing chain that I showed you.
The victims of the retribution clog the streets, retching with the plug. Unfaithful and blasphemous to the temple, decaying with the stench of enlightenment. Those who worked against the sacred.
So that's me flexing, because even when the chain's basically dry, it still sounds the same. But if you're watching this and you want your screams to sound better, here's what you can do. A little trick I learned from one of my Fiverr gigs when I was trying to make it sound like Lamb of God. BPB saturator, free. It's a saturator. Bump that up to around here.
The victims of the retribution clog the streets, retching with the plug of their punishment. Unfaithful and blasphemous to the temple, decaying with the stench of enlightenment.
It's like you're... Okay, that reverb is annoying the shit out of me. I'm turning it off. In a mix...
The victims of the retribution clog the streets, retching with the plug of their punishment. Unfaithful and blasphemous to the temple, decaying with the stench of enlightenment. Those who worked against the sacred.
I don't know. It kind of sounded Randy Blythe-ish, but this is not the right chain and not the right song for it. Or run this in a bus, which is maybe actually what I'm already doing. That is literally... Oh, well, it's not rolled off, but yeah. The rolling off is key, though. Like, taking that chunk and, like, that much off of it, off the screams.
The victims of the retribution clog the streets, retching with the plug of their punishment. Unfaithful and blasphemous to the temple, decaying with the stench of enlightenment.
That, like, mid-push sounds really good on screams. If you're trying to make your screams sound, like, better. Yeah. In summary, everyone uses pitch correction. I'm sorry, everyone except for fucking except for Foo Fighters, you know, because he records everything in the garage or whatever. But like any modern record uses pitch correction. The thing is, not all of it sounds like hard-tuned T-Pain, like where everything is just like a straight line, right? Like I probably this was clear enough, but the big blobs are the average, and they're also the amplitude. But the little squiggly in the middle. Let me zoom way the shit in. That's the actual line, right, of the vocal thing. I would show you this, but I can't make inputs work and then also do the thing. It has to be pre-recorded. This is why I've never done a guitar one. It's impossible. I don't know how people do it, especially on Twitch. Jesus Christ. Anyway, these little lines show the squigglies, right? And like, they're not perfect, and I'm not making them perfect, but I'm making them better, which is what production is. Because if you listen to a metal album with just raw drums, with no processing, no compression, no mid-scoop, you would not think it sounds like music, you know? It might sound like black metal, but it would not sound like music. Everyone uses pitch correction. Maybe they're not hard-tuned. In my case, I hard-tune the pitch center, and I'll kind of affect drift, but I'm not like slamming that like T-Pain style. But that is a sound, and you know what? Hearing Salvation like that is kind of cool. Like I might experiment with that. It's kind of cute. Yeah, and that's my signal chain. So if you're like on Fiverr and you're getting vocals from me, I will run through the chain that I pulled onto the screen, and then I will probably on the cleans put like This is a saturation, just a low cut, just to make it a little crunchier, if necessary. Not always is.
Invoking the rage of a unseen digit.
There's no difference. Oh, because I've got a... What the hell was I doing? Okay. And then maybe this secret sauce doesn't always work. This is the... It's like the sonic exciter, whatever, the sound make goodener. I'll put it on the screen. I forget what it's called. This is not that. It's a different thing, but it does the same thing. It's basically like a high and low exciter, phase distortion. I don't know. It's secret sauce. Is it on here? No. Okay, then take a listen.
Invoking the rage of a unseen digital.
I don't know if you can hear that. It's more apparent on drums. There, you can hear it there. It's like a glorified mid-scoop. I'm sorry. I know it's not. It's better. It's better. It's better. Anyway. And like, that's it. I'll put this doubler on the backing vocals. All these plugins... No, not all these plugins are free. I've already gone over free plugins. I've got a ton more. Maybe I'll do an update. I don't know. I'll put that on the backing vocals. Screams will have this because everything basically I do has this. Rarely will I compress it a second time for Fiverr stuff. And then I might EQ it to fit their mix. That's it though. That's all I'm doing. Remember to like... God damn it. I can't even pretend to pretend. I can't even ironically beg for subs or whatever. Alright, next time I'll look over. Yeah.